All right, hey y'all. So this is my the video that nobody asked for, that I thought I would self-indulge and actually do for once, because a lot of people always, when I'm like, I get complimented, oh my god, your makeup looks so good, what do you do? So I thought today I would like actually show people. So this is for fun. It's obviously, I'm not gonna make, this is not my trajectory to stardom, but yeah, I just thought I'd show y'all a couple tricks of the trade. Over the last year, I've worked at Ulta. I now freelance for Estée Lauder. Any of the views expressed in the video are mine and mine only. I have to say that because I'm, an employee there. But, yeah. So let's get into it. So, moisturizer-wise, I use Neutrogena Hydra Boost, the SPF version, because they make I loved Hydra Boost, but they didn't have an SPF version of it for a while. And so I wouldn't use it. I would use the CeraVe AM lotion, which was a little bit thick for me, but Neutrogena now has a SPF version of their Hydra Boost, which I really like. SPF is the insurance policy for your skin. You wouldn't buy a Ferrari and not get an insurance policy on it, so don't spend all this money on skincare and all that, and not get your insurance policy and not wear an SPF. So SPF is the number one thing for anti-aging. I was a medical assistant at a dermatology office for a second, and that was like the number one thing. It was like people would come in, oh, what's the number one thing for anti-aging? SPF, wear your sunscreen. So basically, after I have my moisturizer and everything like that, I'm usually driving when I do this, by the way. Like, I didn't say that, but usually, I'm in like a hurry or a rush or something. If you know me, you know I'm the most punctual individual ever. So I'm usually doing this in my car, so I don't really think it through, so thinking it through now is a little odd. But yeah, so I have my moisturizer done, primer. Smashbox makes a really good one, photo focus, what is this? Smoothing and blurring one. It's just their original one. I like it a lot. It's a little bit drying, but I have combination oily skin, so I'm okay with that. A good dupe for this one in mass or drugstore is Baby Skin by Maybelline. I'm literally almost out of both of these because, you can use it till like the bottom of the container. Oh, excuse me. Laura Mercier makes a really good one as well. And obviously you can't beat e.l.f., the little putty primers. I got like a trio of these. I like the luminous one better than the poreless one, just because the poreless one is a little bit slick. They're all silicone based, but whatever. So right now I think I'm gonna let's do this Smashbox one. All right, I'm gonna try to do this like quickly because I don't want to. And I've grown my beard out right now, so I'm not trying to, go crazy either. I'm sure I make crazy faces when I do this too, but you want to work it in. I mean, you don't want to leave it out, obviously, but you want to work it in. But I'll show if there's anybody watching that obviously has a beard, which I doubt, but there is a way that you can work products through it, and kind of like you basically use an eyebrow pencil and a spool, and you work it through so it doesn't look weird. The next thing I use, believe it or not, controversial, I know, the only IT Cosmetics product that I like, Bye Bye Foundation, IT Cosmetics, has SPF 50 in it. So my moisturizer, and this is what I use as my foundation. I don't really wear foundation a lot. My skin is really sensitive, so I can't wear like really thick foundations or anything like that. Liquid foundations. So this stuff is really thick. So like literally that would be like all I would need, because it's extremely full coverage, and their shades run really dark. So I'm fair light, like this is fair light, and it's still, it probably is gonna pale me out. Like it's gonna be a little bit dark, but we're gonna roll with it. I like it. I'd rather be a little bit too dark than a little bit too light, if that makes sense. So literally that's a tinted moisturizer. So I always like to apply my tinted moisturizers literally I have a mirror right here in case you wanted to know. I like to apply my tinted moisturizers with my hands, just because it, warms the product up, and I don't see the use in like using a brush or a beauty blender to do it. I mean, if I'm driving, obviously I would use a brush. I would use my buffer brush, the only Tarte product I own, the best one as well. That's my favorite brush I have. Oh, there's a little chipmunk outside my door. All right, so blend it into your neck, obviously. And then this has a very, I love the finish of this. So you can see that it gives it like a, it's not like a satin finish, but it's not luminous either, if that makes sense. I know that's kind of a weird description for it, but anyway. Next, we're gonna do, I'm gonna wash my hands real quick. Okay, so for concealers, I'm a foundation before concealer person. So there's that. For concealers, this is a little bit controversial. NARS has a good one. I like NARS. It's okay. It creases a little bit. I do, I do own Shape Tape, believe it or not. I own a little bitty one, just because I'm not a fan of it. My sister swears by it, loves it. Cool, good for you. If it works, awesome. I smile a bit too much, so it settles into the creases in my eyes. Clinique has a good one. It's okay. It's even better. I like this one. It's hyaluronic acid, has a little, you know, eraser tip end to it. The best one in mass, in my opinion, this is going to piss off a lot of people in the beauty world that are, you know, everybody that's seeing this, that, you know. My favorite one in mass is Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, this little weird doohickey. It's got a weird applicator, but if you use a beauty blender, it's like, it has a really, really beautiful finish, and it is very full coverage, which I like. But my favorite of all, and I say this I work for Estee Lauder, but my favorite one, Teint Idole Lancome. I love this stuff. It's a matte finish, and it's a really great concealer if you just want to, excuse me, it's a really great concealer if you just want to throw it on and wear mascara and go out for the day. Like, that's, you know, kind of the goal with this one. Like, it's got a great finish to it. Look at that. And so what I do is I basically just either dab or paint it under my eyes, and like, I love the applicator of it too, because it's got a fat applicator. And I basically just like go out like that with my concealer, since I don't wear liquid foundations as much, which I'm sure this is, you know, counteractive, but whatever. And then I just do a little bit on the forehead, a little down the nose. And then if I have any spots to cover up, which I usually do, I'll just, you know, kind of pat those in. And then this, I know I look crazy. This is where I take a damp beauty blender and you go to town on blending all this out. I always do like to work it into my beard line here, because the more thick the product becomes, I like to even it down into my complexion. So you're putting liquid product onto hair, essentially. So you want to do that and kind of work it in, and then you're going to go back through, I think I said this earlier, with like an eyebrow spool, and you're basically going to like comb it out. Just comb it up, get the product out, and then you're going to lay it back down. Or you can even use like a clear gel or something like that to put it back in its place. So now that I have all that positioned, you always want to blend into the neck, and then your ears, you always want to make sure your ears are the same color as your face. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. I do love that though, that you can always tell who knows what they're doing by their ears, because if their ears match, then wow, they actually made their ears match. The first thing I do after that, I kind of blended up into my brow bone a little bit, just because I have really dark circles under my eyes, and I don't like go full on because then it pales me out, but I do just blend a little bit into like the arch of my eyebrow, just a little bit, because that kind of hides it a little bit, if that makes sense. The first thing I do is I take a setting powder, because I want to set my under eyes, and I want to let that kind of chill for a second while I'm doing the other stuff. I love, that's why I'm out of it, Dermablend. I love this stuff. This stuff is like chalk, which as a man putting on makeup I need, because I'm not trying to sweat off all my makeup. If I spend all this money on it, why am I gonna sweat it off? And then another one I really like, this is the travel, like the mini travel size of it, but NARS has a really great, it's called, translucent crystal. It's like a radiant shimmer powder. So I'm gonna take like a smaller, this is a concealer blending brush, technically, what they call it. But it's just a smaller brush. And you get a little bit of the product on, and you press it in while you're looking up, or while you're not having any creases in your eyes to this most of your ability. That way it sets the product under your eye where you want it to be. And then I'll even, kind of buff it out. And I'll do around the eye a little bit, just kind of like down here. That way, I got everything covered. And then I'll just get my nose, because my T-zone gets a little bit oily, so I want to set that as well. And then at this stage in the game, I set my face. I know. This is the world's biggest setting spray ever. I know. You can see it's almost the size of my head. It's because it was at Walmart. Milani, Make It Last. It was 13 bucks. It's actually really good. And kind of do this number. Take your beauty blender and just make sure you even out the setting spray under your eyes. And then what I do after that is I do the same thing in setting my under eyes again. That way it like really gets set. All right. Cool. Then this next part, I use, this is where like the actual like makeup application gets, going. So I use pure powder foundation. So I love these powder foundations. They're 4-in-1 mineral pressed powders. They're great. They have SPF in them, which I love. So once again, kind of, putting that on. This is actually a shade darker than I usually use. This is MN3. So this is linen. This is the first of the mediums. Usually I use the last of the lightest, but it's summer. I don't know why I say that as if I tan, because I don't. But I fake tan. So I just use this buffer brush. It's a thick, fluffy brush. It's got a rounded top to it, which I really love. You get product on your brush and you just tap off the excess because you don't want to get like too much on there. And then I just tap it into underneath my eyes and buff it out. I just top off all of what I just did with that. So this is a process, I know. So while I'm doing this, you can enjoy the collage behind me of all the stuff that I have. Share Show, John Wayne, UGA, me, a bunch of signage from when I worked at Ulta. Roger, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. It's okay. It was holiday signage they threw away, so I just took it home with me. Let's see. So now after I do that, I set again. So like I said, it's summer and this jungle heat. I'm not trying to sweat it all off. Then I take same exact thing we did before, my beauty blender, and just under my eyes, make sure I'm still all set. And then I make sure that the setting spray didn't leave any like little dots. Cool. We're just gonna ignore the fact that my face is a different color than my arms because I usually wear sleeves for that reason. So let's do, the next thing that I like to do is I like to bronze. That's just the next kind of stage. So this brush, Morphe has the best brushes in mass. Morphe's got really great brushes. In Prestige, It Cosmetics has really great brushes. So you take like an angled brush, anything with like a chisel to it is great for like contouring because it gets that kind of cut. I'm really tied between two bronzers right now. So I love NARS Laguna because it's really, really like shimmery, radiant kind of looking. And then Hoola Benefit Hoola bronzer. I really like it because it's a matte bronzer. So it depends on whether I'm in like a sheer mood or matte mood. I'm probably gonna go with Laguna today just because I feel like I'm in more of like a glowy, summery look mood. That's about as crazy as I get. It's not crazy, but when you bronze, you want to go up because you know if you're going down, it's dragging your face down. So I have a natural beard line here because I'm a man, obviously, and I have really nice cheekbones. Thanks, Mom. So beard line, cheekbone, you kind of want to go, for me at least, I like to go like right in between them here and just kind of I like to do a couple little swirls. Nothing crazy. And then I like to blend it up, just using the excess from the brush into your temple. And then you can do more on the forehead. Same thing on this side. Because that just adds a little bit of, let me get my hair out the way. Where's my headband? It's around here somewhere. I know I have one. Aha. There she is. how y'all just got to see me struggle with that. Yay. So that just adds a little bit of color to the face. That way I'm not just like one shade the whole time. And then I do the sides of my nose. And then after I do that, I take a little bit, not a lot, because I already have a natural jawline, and just kind of fluff out the contour of my jaw. Not too much. I don't like to have too much of a dramatic jawline because, like I said, I already have a pretty pronounced jaw. So I don't want to do too much with that one. Okay, next, since I did bronzer, I'm gonna do blush. I'm a huge blush fan. Right now, my favorite one, I love any kind of blush, honestly. I don't really have like any dupes, comparisons, things like that, just because I have the one that I love right now. But I'm not saying I'm a whore for blushes, but I'm a whore for blushes. This is NARS Dolce Vita right now. I've had this one since March of a year ago. So I think March of 2021. Yeah. And I still, like, I haven't even hit pan, which is crazy to me, which I love. So it's like a really deep shade, which I like. But it's got a shimmer to it, which I like as well. But a really light application of it, if you do like a little bit higher on the cheekbones, lifts it a bit more. Kind of like up here. And I like to concentrate it there, and then I blend it into the apples of my cheeks. Just a little bit. And then a little bit on the top of the nose. That way it makes it look like you were out in the sun, you know, woohoo. Because I never look like I have been. So this is how you create that effect. Because it's all about illusions. So at that point, since it is a pretty intense blush, and we're going to be manipulating, you know, a couple more things, so I'm not worried about it being too, like, oh my god, you know, pronounced, but I do take a little fluffy, this is e.l.f., this is a little e.l.f. brush, it's like a little fluffy brush, and I do just kind of pat it out, because I like to blend the contour and the blush together, because it creates a little bit more of a glowy effect, which I like. It's all personal preference. People, whenever people come in and they say, oh, I don't know how to do makeup, or oh, I'm so terrible, it's all personal preference. You know how you learn? By doing. It's like any skill in life. Like, you have to be easy on yourself, and you have to try, and you have to really put an effort into it if you want to be good at it. You know what? If you want to be just okay, slap a little mascara on, go about your life, cool, do that. I'm not by any means like a pro or anything. I just, you know, the only reason why I know what I'm doing to a certain extent is because I, you know, did my makeup a lot when I worked at Ulta, and I do my makeup often now, and I work in the cosmetics industry, so it's like, people, you got to give yourself some grace. You know, it's a new skill. You know, you didn't learn to ride your bike the first try and be like, oh my god, wow, it was awesome. Similarly, you're not going to do your makeup bomb or amazingly the first time and just like, oh my gosh, look at that beat. Like, that's not going to be the case. I'm taking this off. It's not going to be the case. So you have to be nice to yourself, because this is all a process, and it's all personal preference. It's all what you want. It's like, you know, being a kid, playing around. That's all it is. So now that I did blush, I like to do highlight usually. My favorite highlighter, I'm also not as much of a whore with highlighters. God, that's terrible. I'm not as picky with highlighters as I am with bronzers, but I still like highlighters, like certain highlighters a little bit better. This is Fenty Beauty. I've actually, you can see how much I've used this one because I just love that side of it. This is the Killawatt Freestyle Highlighter Duos in Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal. So Fire Crystal's my girl. She just is. Like, that's amazing. I love that one. And it's very champagne-y, very, you know. So I do take a pretty small brush, Morphe brush again, and then I just tap it in the tray, get a little bit on there, and then fancy. And then what I do is, you can look at yourself in the light and see where the light hits. Here, 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 here. here, that's where you're gonna highlight. Easy, I know, wow, crazy. And they make a whole industry of, you know, people telling you what's best and how to do it, and they make millions of dollars doing that. It's like a CPA. You know, like they make a whole industry off of telling people how to do their taxes and doing them for them. It's like they make a whole industry in the cosmetics world over telling people how to do their makeup, and it's nothing like doing your taxes. I've done my taxes, and I do my makeup, and I do my taxes as well, and I still owe the government money, but we're not going to talk about that. It's nothing like doing your taxes. Anyway, so I like to do a little highlight here, just a little there, and then a little on the other side right above that eyebrow. So then now you have like a glowy, shimmery look. And at this point, I'm gonna hit it one last time, make it last. This makeup ain't going anywhere. Good. All right, and then I just set my under eyes a little bit. All right, now, this is where you get into your whole beard thing, eyebrows, eyelashes. So the first thing I like to do while I have it, curl my lashes. Where are we at? Okay, you can really like do some damage with these things. But what I like to do is I like to put it on there, get it on your lashes, and I don't like to just like hold it down. I like to press 1, 2, 3. That way you get a little bit more of a lift. And also a little hack, you can hit this with your blow dryer in the morning, and it can be used as like a kind of like a curling iron for your lashes if you warm it up a little bit. I wouldn't do that because my eyes are super sensitive, but you can. I heard it works. Anyway, this is a little $3 eyebrow pencil from e.l.f. And just a neutral brown color. And I take the spool end of it and I just brush out all of the product from my little scruff. That way, I have a more finished look. That way it's not like, you know, it looks more natural that way, as opposed to it being, you know, covered. And then I take, this is from Benefit. So it's their little Gimme brow mascaras. These are really cute. It's literally like a little bitty spool mascara for your eyebrows. So I usually do that on my brows. Don't lift your brows when you do them. I'm terrible at that. I just fill them in just because my brows are naturally pretty thick. I don't do much to them. I don't have to do much to them. I'm blessed in that way. I have a natural arch in my brows, so I'm not really, I'm kind of just, I'm haphazard with my eyebrows. I'm not worried about it. And then I'll also use this on my beard. It doesn't do much. It just kind of tints it a little bit. I think I saw a makeup tutorial with Adam Lambert and he did this. I don't even like go in for more product. Like I just use whatever product is on there. I lied. Boom. Done with that. And then I'll take an Anastasia clear brow gel and I'll set my eyebrows with it. That really keeps the hairs in place. That Gimme Brow more so colors it, gives it pigment. And then this is like, essentially this is like a little bit of a thinner version of Anastasia's Brow Freeze, and it keeps the eyebrow in place, if that makes sense. And then the Last thing that I like to do, this is my favorite mascara. I'm a mascara snob. Buxom. It's amazing. I love it. It's good for people with longer lashes because if you have shorter lashes, you're gonna paint your eyelid with this brush because it's pretty, she's thick. You know what I mean? I can't believe I'm doing that whole beauty influencer kind of thing. Ugh, gross. Anyway, just kind of close your eye into it instead of like up and down, and let the brush do the job. I got some on my eyelid. Speaking of painting your eyelid with it, that's what I just did. It is very volumizing, and it gives your lashes a little bit of wing out, which I like. But you can see like the difference between like mascara, it opens your eye up, brings attention. It's like, ooh. And then this is like boring. Sound effects. You're welcome. And then my other eye. I know this is riveting, isn't it? I basically keep my wand hand steady unless I'm like curling it into my lashes, in which case I like twirl it, spin it, twirl, that's a word, spin it. I have astigmatism in my right eye, so distance is not a thing to me. So that's why I'm like, you ever wonder how people put their mascara on and not have their mouth open? Is that just me? I feel like y'all are judging me now. Who cares? This isn't my, like, you know, my rise to fame or anything. This is purely selfish, which is why I'm posting it. Because it's fun. Makeup is fun. Cosmetics is fun. Do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Do, you know, what? It's fun. That's what it is. It's fun. So now I take a Q-tip and I get that off my eyelid. And you know what? If it goes into my crease, it gives a little bit of shading. Why not? But you kind of want to wait until it's a little bit dry to do that, because then, you know, it'll come off easier. It won't get as smeary, I guess, if that's if that's a word, smeary. And this is how you get a side. Clean up the under eyes. I know, it's terrible. You're welcome. Like I said, wonder who can do this while keeping their mouth shut. I don't know why. I've always been that way. I've always licked my lips and I colored too. That's weird. I know. Like as a kid, like I would color with colored pencils, like licking my lips for some reason. I think it's like a, I don't know. My therapist would probably say it's an anxious fixation, but whatever. We love Denise. Anyway. All right, and then after I clean it up, I go through it. Where is it? I go back over it one time with another little doohickey of mascara, just because sometimes you can push a couple lashes together when you hit it with the Q-tip by accident, and I always like to get that, you know, kind of back apart. Look, I'm doing it. Mouth closed. Mouth and eyes closed, apparently. I don't usually wear lip color, so I'll usually just put on chapstick or something. And this is kind of how I'll roam around the free world. I know, scary, frightening, but not too shabby. Yeah, I mean, not terrible. Not bad for mom of 3 kids. Well, anyway, but my final little thing, if I am going to do a lip product, I do have to plug Estée Lauder I do love their whipped matte lip products. I actually do. I know I work for them, but this isn't like a product placement. This is Air Kiss. It's like a matte cashmere finish is what they say, but it's basically like a soft, it's like a satin matte finish. And I have naturally pretty big lips, so I don't have to do much. And people do always wonder if I've had like my cheeks done or if I've had my lips done or anything like that. And I haven't had any work done. God just took his time on me. So yeah. So I'll do that. And then I have, where is it? Here it is. Pout Bomb. Makeup Revolution actually makes really good clear glosses. Estée Lauder makes them, but they're $30. And to be honest, this is $10 and it does the exact same thing. So if I am gonna wear a lip product, that's it. So this is how I would go about, you know, my day. So I know that was the world's most crackhead, you know, tutorial ever, but I hope somebody had a laugh because it was kind of fun doing it. So y'all are welcome. Here's a look at my wall again.